God. I can't. Get out. Stupid bitch. Stupid bitch.
Korra has been a divisive entry in the Avatar franchise. As the sequel to Avatar The Last Airbender, it was subjugated to high expectations, not only for its narrative but also for its protagonist Korra. Despite its acclaim for pushing boundaries in animation and storytelling, the series has faced intense criticism, much of it directed at Korra herself. While you are in the right to dislike or even hate her, let's try to understand her character better. The first and most apparent reason for the backlash against The Legend of Korra lies in its relationship with Avatar The Last Airbender. The Last Airbender set an exceptionally high bar with its cohesive storytelling, complex character arcs, and universally beloved protagonist Aang. Fans expected a similar structure and tone from Legend of Korra, but the sequel took a different approach, prioritizing seasonal arcs and socio-political themes over the mythic unified journey of its predecessor. This structural shift alienated fans who were hoping for a continuation of the epic narrative style of Avatar The Last Airbender. Instead, Legend of Korra's more episodic storytelling felt disjointed, leading some to view the show as inferior.
A loud pack of idiot bitches, and I'm sick of them already.
The pressure on Korra as the new Avatar further exacerbated this issue. Unlike Aang, who was a reluctant hero learning to embrace his destiny, Korra was brash, confident, and already skilled in most forms of bending. This stark contrast made her feel less relatable to some viewers who have grown attached to Aang's humble, pacifist nature. Korra's characterization is one of the most common sources of criticism. She's introduced as a headstrong and impulsive avatar, which some fans perceive as arrogance. This "I'm the Avatar, so I'm right" attitude clashed with the expectation of the Avatar being a balanced and harmonious figure. Korra's flaws, such as her hot-headedness and difficulty with patience, were repeatedly showcased in the early seasons, making her journey to maturity feel more frustrating than inspiring to some viewers. However, much of the backlash against Korra stems from a misunderstanding of her character arc. Unlike Aang, who begins his journey as a likable and empathetic child, Korra starts with more pronounced flaws that she must overcome. Her arc is one of self-discovery and personal growth, but this trajectory is slower and less apparent in the early seasons, leading to frustration among fans. Critics often argue that Korra never learns from her mistakes, pointing to her repeated failures in diplomacy and conflict resolution. It overlooks the intention behind her flaws, to depict a protagonist whose growth feels hard-earned rather than predestined.
How everybody's ganging up against me? For what? What the fuck did I do?
The unique structure of TLOK, with each season having its self-contained storyline, contributed to the perception that Korra's character lacked consistent development. Unlike The Last Airbender, the singular overarching narrative was Aang must master all the 4 elements and defeat the Fire Lord. That's it. The Legend of Korra explored different socio-political ideologies each season, with villains representing distinct philosophies. Amon's equality for non-benders, Unalaq's spiritual renewal, Zaire's anarchism, and Kuvir's authoritarianism. While this approach allowed Legend of Korra to tackle mature and diverse themes, it also made the show feel fragmented. Korra's growth was often overshadowed by the need to resolve each season's conflict within its limited runtime. As a result, her arc sometimes felt secondary to the broader themes, leading to the perception that she lacked meaningful development. This structural choice left some fans yearning for the tight-knit cohesion of ATLA, further fueling the hate train against Korra. Korra struggles to live up to Aang's legacy, both within the narrative and in the eyes of the audience, are central to the criticism she receives. Aang as the protagonist of The Last Airbender was a pacifist and a reluctant hero who prioritized compassion and understanding, Korra, on the other hand, is more confrontational and aggressive avatar, unafraid to fight for what she believes in. This contrast highlights the different challenges each avatar faces, but it also sets Korra up for unfair comparisons. Fans often criticize Korra for not embodying the same ideals as Aang, ignoring the fact that their circumstances and upbringings are vastly different. Aang's peaceful nature was a product of his upbringing as an air nomad, while Korra's confidence and combativeness stem from her sheltered training with the White Lotus. Furthermore, the world Korra inhabits is more modern and politically fractured than Aang's, requiring a different approach to leadership. Despite these contextual differences, many fans judged Korra harshly for not living up to Aang's example, further perpetuating the backlash against her. A significant, though often overlooked factor in the hate train against Korra is rooted in societal biases against strong female protagonists. Korra's brashness and confidence, traits often celebrated in male characters, were frequently labeled as arrogance or unlikability. Male characters with similar flaws, such as Zuko or Sokka, are often given more leeway by fans, who view their growth arcs as redemptive. In contrast, Korra's flaws were magnified and criticized, reflecting a double standard in how audiences perceive male and female characters. Additionally, Korra's physical strength and assertiveness challenged traditional notions of femininity, making her a polarizing figure for some viewers. Her romantic relationships, particularly the love triangle with Mako and Asami, were also heavily scrutinized, with fans blaming her for conflicts that were often mutual or caused by Mako's indecisiveness. This disproportionate criticism reveals the underlying bias in how female characters are held to higher standards of behavior and likability than their male counterparts. One of the most compelling aspects of Korra's character arc is her struggle with trauma, particularly in later seasons, from being physically and emotionally broken by Amon, Unalaq, and Zaire, to dealing with the aftermath of mercury poisoning and PTSD. Korra's journey is marked by immense suffering and resilience. However, this aspect of her character is often overlooked or dismissed by critics who focus solely on her early flaws. By the time Korra reaches the climax of her arc in Season 4, she has grown into a more introspective and empathetic leader. Her ability to see herself and Kuvira and resolve their conflict through dialogue rather than violence is a testament to her growth. Unfortunately, this development came too late for some viewers who had already written off her character as unlikable.
Somebody lied to her several times and told her that she was fly, hot, and sexy and beautiful, and she's nothing like that. She's nothing of the sort.
This delayed redemption arc is a common critique of Legend of Korra, but it also underscores the depth and complexity of Korra's journey.
This bitch needs to be put down.
Maddie, no! Maddie, no!
The loss of Korra's connection to her past lives is undeniably one of the most controversial moments in the series and a significant reason for the backlash it has received. For fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the past lives were more than just a narrative tool. They were a cornerstone of the Avatar's identity and power. Aang's connection to figures like Avatar Roku and Kyoshi emphasized the weight of history and tradition in the Avatar's role as a bridge between generations. By severing this link in Korra, the writers made a bold choice that alienated many fans. The loss of Korra's past lives was met with widespread disappointment and anger from fans.
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
Many saw it as a betrayal of the world building and mythology established in The Last Airbender. The spiritual connection to the past lives was one of the most unique and compelling aspects of the Avatar's role, and its removal felt like a loss not only for Korra but for the entire franchise. Fans also criticized the lack of emotional weight given to this moment. While Korra expresses grief over losing her past lives, the series moves on rather quickly, failing to fully explore the consequences of such a monumental change. For viewers who cherish the spiritual legacy of the Avatar, this felt like an oversight, further amplifying their frustration.
Hurt and traumatized. Disgusted.
Ultimately, much of the hate directed at Korra is a product of unrealistic expectations, narrative choices, and societal biases. While The Legend of Korra is not without its flaws, the criticism it receives, particularly towards Korra, often fails to consider the nuances of her character and the challenges she faces. Korra's journey is one of self-discovery and resilience, and her flaws make her a more human and relatable protagonist. By focusing on her imperfections rather than her growth, critics miss the essence of what makes her story so fascinating. In retrospect, Korra is overhated. Like, the hate for this girl is on Caillou level of hate.
Yeah, you're stupid.
Her struggles to define herself in a world that no longer revolves around the Avatar mirror the challenges of finding one's identity in a rapidly changing society. As fans continue to revisit the series with fresh perspectives, many are beginning to appreciate the depth and complexity of Korra's character. While the hate train may persist, and it will, especially with this new Avatar series coming out, it is increasingly clear that Korra deserves recognition not as a perfect Avatar, but as a flawed and resilient one whose journey is worth celebrating. But hey, at the end of the day, people are gonna hate what they're gonna hate.
Let me pretend I care. Okay, I'm done.
And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave down in the comments below why you hated Korra or why you loved her, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!